Hello once again, welcome to example 5 on the rationalization of said that I started with you in the previous videos. In the previous videos, we started learning about rationalization of said, where you have a given fraction in which the denominator contains two terms and you are being asked to rationalize or simplify. Okay, that's what we started looking at in the previous videos, and we've done a detailed explanation on it, and we've solved some examples on it as well in the previous videos, and I hope you all understood it and you enjoyed the lesson as well. So in this video, I want us to solve another example so that you get a perfect understanding of it. Okay, so this is example 5. As you can see from the board, I've written example 5, so it means we've already done example 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the previous videos. Okay, so I will advise that you do well to watch the previous videos so that you get a good foundation to be able to handle this session as well. Okay, and please don't forget to like the videos and also share them after watching. And if you are watching it for the first time, please do well to follow the page as well. Let's go ahead and handle the example 5 that I have on the board. So example 5, it says express 4 root 3 plus 3 root 2 all over 2 root 3 minus 3 root 2 in the form p plus q root r, where p, q, and r are rational numbers. Okay, so that is the question. Okay, so for us to be able to answer this question, the only way to go about it is to rationalize this fraction that you have been given. Okay, so this fraction given, which contains said, the question is saying that we should express it in this form. It says we should express this in the form p plus q root r, where p, q, and r are rational numbers. Okay, so if we are able to rationalize this one, you see that we will get an answer which is of this nature. Okay, then we are going to be able to identify our p, q, and r. Okay, so that is the meaning of the question. Okay, so all that we need to do is to rationalize this fraction that you have been given, so that after we've rationalized it, we see that it will be of this nature. Okay, and at this nature, we are going to be able to identify our p, q, and r. Okay, so I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. So let's go ahead and rationalize the fraction given. Okay, so I'm going to write down my solution. Okay, so follow and let's do it together. So I have 4 root 3 plus 3 root 2 all over 2 root 3 minus 3 root 2. Okay, so we are going to rationalize this one. Okay, and we've learned from the previous videos that for us to be able to rationalize any question of this nature, we are going to find the conjugate of the denominator and we are going to use it to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of the same fraction. Okay, so the conjugate for this denominator, which is 2 root 3 minus 3 root 2, is going to be 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. That is the conjugate. Okay, and I've explained what conjugate means to you in the previous video. Okay, so in simple terms, when you are being asked to find the conjugate of any expression of this nature, it means that repeat the same thing, then the sign in between, then change it to the opposite. So here being negative, for us to get the conjugate of this, we are going to repeat the same thing, then the negative sign, we are going to change it to positive. Okay, which is the opposite of the negative. Okay, if here was to be positive, for us to get the conjugate, we are going to change it to negative. Okay, I hope the explanation is clear enough up to this point. Okay, so the conjugate of this, which is 2 root 3 minus 3 root 2, is going to be 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. All that you need to do is to change the sign to the opposite. Okay, and that will give you the conjugate of these two terms, which is here, okay, at the denominator. Okay, so we are going to use that conjugate, which is 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2 to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of the same fraction. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be this times the conjugate of the denominator, which is 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2, then all over 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. Okay, so we are using the conjugate to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of the same fraction. Okay, I hope you agree with me up to this point. Okay, so now we have to go ahead and simplify further. Okay, and how to simplify further is to multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm going to use this term to multiply this term. Okay, so we are going to put it into brackets so that we don't get confused about it. So it's going to be, I hope you are following. Okay, it's going to be 4 root 3 plus 3 root 2 into bracket. Okay, multiplying 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. I hope you agree with me up to this point. Okay, so we are multiplying the numerators and we are going to multiply the denominators as well. So we've done for the numerator, so let's go ahead and do for the denominator as well. So this all over, then we are going to multiply the denominators as well. So this term will multiply this term. So we are going to put it into brackets. So it's going to be 2 root 3 minus 3 root 2. Okay, I hope you are following. Multiplying, okay, 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. Okay, so you put it into brackets like this. I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, from here we are going to go ahead and expand our bracket. How to expand this bracket is to apply the principle of multiplication of two binomials, okay, which we've done a lot of examples of this nature in the previous videos. Okay, so we are going to apply the principles that governs the multiplication of two binomials to be able to expand the bracket. Okay, so we are going to maintain the last bracket, then each term in the first bracket will multiply the last bracket. Okay, so that is how to go about it. So we are going to maintain the last bracket, okay, then each term in the first bracket will multiply the last bracket. So when I take this 4 root 3, okay, it will multiply the last bracket, which is 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. I hope you agree with me up to this point. Okay, then I'll take the plus 3 root 2 also. It will also multiply the last bracket, which is 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, all over, then the denominator also, we treat it the same way. Okay, I hope you agree with me up to this point. So let's go ahead and simplify the denominator as well. Okay, so now we are going to maintain the last bracket so that each term in the first bracket will multiply the last bracket as we did for the numerator. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I want to rule my line well. Okay, so let me clean it and rule it well. Okay, so that you will see it well. So let me rule this line well for us to continue. Okay, good. I think it's better now. So let's go ahead and do for the denominator. Okay, so when I take my 2 root 3, it will multiply, I hope you can see, it will multiply the last bracket, which is 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. Okay, then we close our bracket. Then I'll take my minus 3 root 2 also. It will multiply the last bracket, which is 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. Okay, and I hope you agree with me up to this point. Okay, though it's plenty, okay, but you just need to follow the rules, okay, and it's very simple, okay. So just follow the rules, okay, of the multiplication of two binomial approach, okay. So that is what we are applying to open the bracket, okay. So and we are getting this one. So let's go ahead and simplify further, okay. So I'm going to continue from this side, okay. So we are going to open our brackets now, okay. This 4 root 3 will open its bracket by multiplying each term in the bracket, and this positive 3 root 2 also will open its bracket by multiplying each term in the bracket, okay. Then we'll do same for the denominator as well, okay. So let's go ahead. So 4 root 3 times 2 root 3 is going to give us 8 root 9, and I hope you agree with me, okay. We've done a multiplication of sets, so we are applying that here, okay. So 4 root 3 times 2 root 3 is going to give me 8 root 9, okay. So I'm going to continue from this side. I'm going to get 8 root 9, okay. For multiplying the 4 root 3 and the 2 root 3 is giving 8 root 9. Then this 4 root 3 will multiply this positive 3 root 2 also. So 4 root 3 times positive 3 root 2 is going to give me 12 root 6. I hope you agree with me. So plus 12 root 6, okay. Let's go ahead. This will also open its bracket by multiplying each term in the bracket. So this positive 3 root 2 will multiply each term in this bracket, okay. So positive 3 root 2 times 2 root 3 is going to give me 6 root 6, and I hope you agree with me. So plus 6 root 6, okay. And this positive 3 root 2 will multiply this 3 root 2 also, and that is going to give me 9 root 4, or 3 root 2 all squared is the same thing, or you can make it 9 root 4. So plus 9 root 4, and I hope you agree with me up to this term, up to this point, okay. So all over the denominator, so let's do for the denominator as well. 2 root 3 times this 2 root 3 is going to give me 4 root 9, or you can make it 2 root 3 all squared is the same thing. So I will choose to write 4 root 9, okay, which is the same as you writing 2 root 3 all squared. So 2 root 3 times 2 root 3, it gives me 4 root 9. So 4 root 9. Then this 2 root 3 times this 3 root 2 is going to give me 6 root 6. And I hope you agree with me. Okay, so plus 6 root 6. Okay. Then this minus 3 root 2 will also open its bracket. Okay, so minus 3 root 2 times 2 root 3, it's going to give me minus 6 root 6. So minus 6 root 6. I hope you agree with me. Then minus 3 root 2 times positive 3 root 2 is going to give me negative 9 root 4. Okay, or you can write it as negative 3 root 2 all squared is the same thing. Okay, so I want to write the negative 9 root 4 instead, okay, which is the same as you writing a negative 3 root 2 all squared is the same thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify what we have here further. Okay, so now you can see that we have 8 root 9. The 8 is multiplying the square root of 9, but we know that square root of 9, we can get an answer for square root of 9, which is 3. Okay, so we are going to simplify it further by writing 8 into bracket 3, meaning 8 times 3, because square root of the 9 is 3. That's what we've placed there. The 8 is multiplying whatever value that we'll get for square root of 9. So the square root of 9 is 3, and the 8 is multiplying it. That's why we have this, okay. Plus, then now I'm going to simplify this and this, because this and this are like terms. 12 root 6 plus 6 root 6, okay, we can simplify them because they are like terms. That is going to give me 18 root 6, and I hope you agree with me. So 18 root 6, okay. Then now we can simplify this one also. So plus 9 times root 4, okay. The 9 is multiplying the root 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so you are going to get 9 into bracket 2. Okay, so meaning 9 times the 2. Okay, because the square root of 4 gives 2, okay, which we've written here, and the 9 is multiplying it, okay, all over the denominator. So let's do for the denominator also. So I have my 4 root 9 here, which will be 4 times 3, and I hope you understand, because the square root of the 9 gives 3, okay, and the 4 is multiplying it, so 4 into bracket 3. Okay, now this is positive 6 root 6 minus 6 root 6. They will cancel away and it will be 0, okay. This positive 6 root 6 minus 6 root 6, it will be 0. They will cancel away, okay. So we are left with minus 9 root 4, okay. So minus 9. Then you see that square root of 4, we can get an answer for square root of 4, which is 2. Okay, so minus 9 into bracket 2, because the square root of 4 gives 2 and the minus 9 is multiplying it, so minus 9 into bracket 2. Okay, now let's go ahead and simplify further. 8, 3, 24. Okay, so 24 plus 18 root 6, then plus 9 to 18. I hope you agree with me up to this point. Okay, so all over the denominator, 4, 3, 12 minus 18. Okay, 9, 2 is 18. Okay, I hope you understand up to this point. Let's go ahead and simplify further. Okay, all that you need to do is to group like terms. Okay, we can add this and this, they are like terms. Okay, so because of space, I want to jump that step of grouping like terms, but we understand that we can add the 18 and the 24. Okay, so which is this 24 plus 18, which is going to give me 42. Okay, so we are going to have 42 plus 18 root 6 all over, then the 12 minus 18 is going to give me negative 6. Okay, and I hope you agree with me up to this point. Okay, from here we can simplify further by writing this as 42 over negative 6 plus 18 root 6 all over negative 6, and I hope you agree with me. Okay, because I've explained from the previous videos that the denominator affects each terms at the numerator. Okay, so this minus 6 affects the 42 here, so we can write it as 42 over minus 6. Okay, plus, you bring your plus sign here, and this minus 6 also affects the 18 root 6 here, so plus 18 root 6 all over minus 6. Okay, so having this, we can separate them and write it like this. Okay, so or you can also choose to do a factorization at the numerator. Okay, so when you do factorization, you will get a number out which will cancel this 6 away. Okay, and you are going to get the same answer. Okay, so either you separate them by writing them like this, or you do factorization at the numerator. Okay, which will give you the same answer. Okay, let's go ahead and simplify further. 6 will cancel itself 1 and goes into 42 7 times. Okay, and this 6 will cancel itself 1 and goes into this 18 3 times. Okay, please don't forget that there is a negative sign down here. That negative will affect the number at the top. Okay, and there's a negative sign down here as well. It will affect the number at the top. Okay, don't ignore the negative sign, it's very important. Okay, so we are going to get let me continue from here. We are going to get minus 7 plus minus 3 root 6. Okay, I hope you can see and you agree with me. Okay, so here is it. The negative here affects the 7, which is minus 7, and the negative here affects the 3. Okay, so plus minus 3 root 6. Okay, so I hope the explanation is clear up to this point. Okay, so from here, okay, we can compare and know the value for P, Q, and R. Okay, so you can see that this is of this nature because it says that when we simplify this one, it will be in this form. Okay, so we should express this in this form, which is P plus Q root R. Okay, so you can see that we are getting an answer which is of this nature, which is the P plus Q root R. So we can compare and know the value for P, Q, and R. Okay, so from here we are going to compare our final answer, which is the minus 7 plus minus 3 root 6 with the p plus q root r, so that we are going to get the value for p, q, and r. Okay, so all that we need to do is compare this to this so that we know the value for p, q, and r. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I'm going to continue from this side. Okay, so comparing this to this, our p is equal to, okay, let me write my p well. So my p will be equal to negative 7. Okay, then my q will be equal to negative 3, and my r will be equals to 6. Okay, I hope you agree with me. So comparing this to this, you can see that p equals to negative 7, the q will be equal to negative 3, and the r, which is under the square root sign, will be equal to the 6, which is under this square root sign. So that's the value for p, q, and r. Okay, I hope you understood it, okay, and you enjoyed the lesson as well. See you again in another video whilst we solve other examples. Bye bye.